Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Getting back to work on the Cobra in this video. Last video I was working on cleaning up some leaks, both coolant and exhaust. This video I'm going to pick up with trying to fix the exhaust leak. It has to do with my J-pipe to side pipe flange. It was leaking, the gasket blew out that was in the car from when it was built. And after multiple attempts, I've not been able to get it to seal. So I'm going to get the camera turned around and walk through the next steps in the process as far as what I'm going to do and see if I can get this fixed once and for all. All right, so right there is the culprit. It is that three bolt flange gasket and mating surface that no matter how much I tighten it and adjust the torques around the circle of the flange, I can't get it to stop leaking. It's just ever so slightly leaking and blowing out in all of the open center areas. So what I'm going to do is take this back apart, use the same gasket because it's barely run, so it should be fine. And then I'm also going to use some copper sealer on top of it. That seems to be the way to go. I'll use it as a dressing because the flanges did seem to have some corrosion on them, so I think that's where I'm running into an issue, is they're just not perfectly flat. I also did get another Allen head bolt for the one that looks like it's nice and shiny that you can see here. Because this didn't have an Allen head bolt, it actually had a bolt that was a smaller size as far as the thread, and I was worried the thing was going to snap when I was trying to torque it, so I grabbed one that I had just laying around. But the head on both the nut and the bolt are too big, and they're hitting some of the welds. These flanges just aren't very big, and the weld gets in the way, so you need narrow nuts and narrow bolt heads. So I have a round Allen head bolt that I'm going to use instead. And real quick, here's what I'm going to use as far as dressing the gasket. It is, the ultra copper sealer. All right, back apart, you can see, it obviously shows you where it was leaking out and blown by the gasket. And then here's the gasket itself. Again, using a 2 3/4, I believe it was, gasket, so it's a little bit oversized for the hole, but a 2 1/2 covers the hole. It just doesn't look right. So what I'm going to do is get everything cleaned up, and then I'll be reinstalling this using the sealer on top of it, and hopefully that will fix my problem. All right, cleaned everything off, wiped it down with brake clean and whatnot. There's a few little fibers of the towel that I need to remove real quick. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get the gasket all covered with that sealer. Again, it's it's going to be a little inset, so hopefully the sealer on the gasket will just fill in any of the grooves on the actual flange. I might put a smear bead on the flanges as well towards the inside, and then get it all assembled. And then what I will do is get it loosely tightened, not cranked down, but pretty much hand tight today. Let it sit 24 hours, and then I'll come back and torque it down and try and run it. I did also order, for these Allen bolts, I ordered long sockets because with the bottom flange, I think it's this one here, you really can't get a good angle on it with a regular short socket. And I basically am having to use a ball-ended long Allen key with a crescent wrench on it. I've described that previously, just to try and get it tightened down. So I ordered 2 long Allen sockets, one with a ball end, one with a flat end, and I'll just see what works best. But it'll give me just alternate options to work on this, similar to what I had to do to get the thermostat housing tightened down with the coolant expansion tank that I have now. So anyway, I'm going to grab the sealer and start getting this put back together. All right, as you can see, it is put back in place. Again, just kind of hand tightened down. I'm going to let it dry overnight, come back 24 hours later, torque it down, and then see if this thing will start and hopefully no longer leak. All right, next thing I want to mess around with is these e-brake cables. Because if you watched one of my previous videos when I was talking about a noise I was hearing, I thought it was a loose panel in the back, but I'm pretty sure it was that sound going down the road. So what I'm going to do is kind of try and find a way to reroute these cables. I'm going to try and go up and through. There's some holes in the frame up there above where the control arm mount goes, or the control arm mounts. I might be able to run it through that, and that will keep it off of here and just kind of walk it around again this way, but it won't be banging on the brake line, hopefully. So I'm going to mess around, remove this clamp here, and then see what I can do. All right, and passenger side rerouted. You can see what I was talking about there, and it comes around back how it was and goes right into the spot it's supposed to. and should be no more hitting the brake line, making loud metallic sounds. It's pretty good in there. I mean, I don't think that's going to vibrate anywhere as much because I think the problem was the rear end going up and down, causing it to bounce. Now that it's going through those little holes in the frame, it should be all set. Now I need to do the same thing to the driver's side. All right, and driver's side is done as well. Unfortunately, the way I had to reroute it, the cable's almost too short that I couldn't reuse this hole here where I had the bracket holding it in place. But thankfully, there was a hole already up here for the bracket for the hard line. So I just, undid that screw, and everything is using that one screw. So that holds in the hard line as well as the e-brake cable. But all set there. That's now hooked back up and rerouted. And hopefully there is no more bouncing off of the top of the rear axle brake lines, and that will eliminate that annoying rattle. All right, next up is a controversial one if you're part of the Mustang crowd, and that is this stupid weight that is on the differential. Mustang guys, some say it helps with drive shaft vibrations and oscillations. Cobra guys mostly say ditch it because our drive shaft is like 8 foot long. It is minimal and doesn't really make a difference. So I am going to grab a 9/16 socket and remove the 2 bolts and retainers that hold that weight on and get it off of my rear end. Well, that took way longer than I probably should have based on the corroded hardware, but it is removed. So that's like 10 pounds off the back of the car. Not bad for, 2 bolts. So that's out of here. I'm going to go throw it in a box and put it in a corner somewhere and hopefully never see it again. All right, it is the next day. It has been over 24 hours, so now it's time to do a final torque on these. Looking online, recommended for like a 3/8 exhaust header flange bolt is about 25 foot-pounds, so that's what I'm going to go with. So I've got my 3/8 torque wrench, and I did get, like I said, the 2 extended. These are 5/16 Allen extended sockets, 1 ball end for the difficult to get to lower bolt, and then the flat one or the straight one I'll use for the 2 uppers because those have more access. So I'm going to go ahead, grab a 9/16 wrench for holding the nuts in place, and then go ahead and get this thing torqued to 25 foot-pounds. And everything's torqued to 25 foot-pounds. Man, that was so much easier having those extended sockets. So glad I bought those, made a night and day difference, and was able to get that bottom on really no problem. So instead of having to do the contraption of an Allen key with a crescent wrench and whatnot, I was able to get it done no problem. So now I'm going to fire this thing up and see if we have any leaks. All right, as I'm sure you can hear, it is cooling down, and I got this thing good and warmed up, and I was revving it and running it up high and kept checking, and there are no signs of leaks in the exhaust right now. So I am very happy about that. I think that sealer did the trick as well as getting the right tool to get everything torqued nice and even, but we are all done. It looks like the exhaust leak is resolved. All right, next day, and everything has cooled off. As you can hear, it's not clicking anymore. And I just wanted to look up top here after running it and getting this thing good and warm, and it does not look like there's any water leaking anymore from the thermostat neck. So that's a good sign. I've had this, I've started it multiple times since I torqued everything down properly. And yesterday when I ran this, I got it good and warm, and I'm not seeing any coolant gathering in that area where it would normally gather. I don't see any sitting on top of the timing cover right below the water neck flange where it used to, get all, or where it was dripping from. So I think that might now finally be resolved. I hope. It looks like it's dry on the bottom of the flange, so that to me is a good sign. All right, back under the car, and the last thing that I wanted to look at slash address in this video has to do with the rear brake lines. I previously mentioned there was just some slight weeping coming from this fitting, the split T that's on the rear axle, and it was just, these fittings were ever so slightly weeping brake fluid. And it looks like they're still wet. I see some shine on my finger, and I sprayed this down with brake cleaner. These are hard stainless lines. Yeah, this one as well. You can see it on my finger there. These are hard stainless lines from Maximum Motorsports, so they are notorious for being very difficult to get them to finally clamp down and stop leaking. So I'm probably going to have to remove the bracket from the axle housing so I can get a better clamp on the actual T and really torque down on these suckers. I might actually back them off a little bit, go down, tighten them, back them off, tighten them, back them off, tighten them a few times, because that tends to be how you get these things to seat, because that stainless steel, it just does not like to seat on the flange. Like I said, it's not a bad leak. I mean, the reservoir, my brake fluid, it looks full, just as full as when I filled it and did this brake job a couple of years ago. But it definitely has a little bit of seepage going out of these lines, and it's something I am going to need to address. All right, and that is where I'm going to end this one. Like I said, next video I'll pick up with trying to fix the brake leak, as well as hopefully get that transmission seal replaced and get rid of the transmission leak. And that should be the last things I really wanted to mess with underneath, and maybe I'll actually get to use this car a little bit this summer before it ends and starts snowing again. I'm definitely kicking myself in the butt a little bit for those brake lines. I could have just gotten regular brake lines. This thing doesn't even get washed with water. It doesn't see any liquid, so I don't know why I was so adamant not getting stainless steel. I guess, just normal way of doing things with all the other vehicles that are on the road, having to worry about rust and corrosion and whatnot. But anyway, if you like what you're seeing, you want to follow along, please hit like, please hit subscribe, please hit the notification bell. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comment section below. I do review them. I will reply. I do have a second YouTube channel devoted to firearm content. If that's something that interests you, please check it out. Link in the description of this video. I also have a Rumble channel where I'm posting the firearm content. If you're on Rumble, appreciate it if you follow me there. Link in the description as well. I do have some items I'm selling in a fourth wall store. Probably see some of them below the video, and there is a link in the description if you want to check them out. That being said, thank you very much for watching, and have a great day.